everyone. I believe this is live. This is going to be a video response to Matthew Bryan, who just jumped into the video, or jumped into the group for the first time. So thanks for showing up, Brian. That's awesome. Thanks for, basically filming because I asked you to. That's very cool. That makes me feel good. So the question he posed at the very end of his video was, what challenges did I have in 2018, and how did I overcome them? The challenges that I had in 2018 were that my wife, who used to work a lot of hours, basically stopped working so much. So then I had to go to work more, get some overtime. So the downtime that I had basically got cut down massively. So at that time I was running some games in my gaming club. I was running some games online via play-by-post games. I think I had 3 different play-by-post games I was running. Occasionally I was jumping into some one-shots online via audio only. So when I started working more, I really had to cut back on all this stuff, basically because I had zero free time. Hey Rob, everybody else. So the challenges that I had in 2018 were that because I was working so much, I was just physically exhausted, mentally exhausted. So it started to take a toll on the games that I was running. Eventually it just got down to me running the play-by-post games. Those play-by-post games that I was running started to suffer because of just the level of exhaustion that I had. So, hey Matthew. So the challenges for me were how to try to overcome my lack of creativity because of how much I was working and how exhausted I was. Some things that I noticed helped. I would just take time out during the day to literally do nothing. This is almost like Office Space nothing. Where I wouldn't go so far as to call it meditation, but I'm sure that could work if you're actually into doing something like that, where I just basically just try to turn my brain off and just try to forget about all the stresses and worry, things like my job. It's really hard for me to leave my job at work. So I was really struggling with that in 2018. I guess I still am to some degree. So what I ended up doing, which I don't know if I really overcame those problems, I basically came to the realization that I was trying to push myself too hard, and that there are times in your life where you can't run games. You just have to call it quits, or just be honest with yourself that you're not capable of basically getting to the elevated, expectations that you have of yourself. I was finding when I was running these play-by-post games that I just had no new ideas. I didn't really know where to take the game, or a player would ask me a question that required a good amount of work to try to figure out or to define, just basically be able to answer them. And I was almost dreading going to the game to check on updates. And I think for me too, just the medium of play-by-post finally got to the point where I just didn't like it anymore. And again, it's probably because I just didn't have a lot of energy and I was exhausted. But I've been a big proponent of play-by-post games for years, and I've played them for years. I've got freaking 10,000 posts or something on this one play-by-post site. So it was really hard for me to accept that because of the amount of work that I was doing, that I had to cut back severely on my hobbies. I had to tell myself that I have limits, that it's okay to take a break. I've got some things here. Hey Matthew. Yeah, trying to jump in on the video responses as fast as I can these days. So it looks like O'Neill said he's been kind of burned out for a while. So I guess this is a little bit of burnout, but it's really just accepting the fact that you're human. You have limitations, that it's okay to sit back and just do other things. For instance, I've been really enjoying doing things that are RPG adjacent. Maps, and kind of like RuneSlinger, just sitting down and reading rules, learning new mechanics. It almost feels like I'm prepping for when I do get fully back into the hobby with things, So, in a way, it feels like I've kind of stepped back a little bit from the RPG community, and I've just spent more time just trying to enjoy the stuff that's on my shelves, the stuff that's gathering dust. Yeah, play-by-post is great. Usually, I don't know. I guess for me, I just got to the point where I don't know, just the act of going through and reading the posts just kind of got overwhelming to me. Just partly it was due to procrastination, which oh geez, I'm gonna just roll it already. I can't think of his name right now. Daryl had talked about in a recent video he's been putting up on YouTube, and procrastination was part of it. Like you procrastinate, and then you kind of dread going there, and then the more you procrastinate, the more you dread it, and it's just like this downward spiral that just doesn't end well. So I got to the point where I was ignoring my play-by-post games. I wasn't even checking YouTube just to show you the level of total burnout that I had. You know, I don't know. I had to be honest with myself, and that's a hard thing. You know, I think a lot of people lie to themselves on a daily basis about a lot of different things. Definitely one of those. In some ways, I think I gave in to like my own negative self-talk, like that. You know, like I wasn't doing well enough at those games, but the players, you know, they were sad to see those games go. Especially, I was running an Empire of the Petal Throne game, which is based in the Tekkamul setting, and a lot of those players had never played in that setting before, so they were, you know, obviously sad that that game ended. But I just couldn't do it. Like I had to just, yeah. So, in a way, this doesn't feel like the typical burnout that I've had in years previous, where I had free time and I had stores of energy, and I just couldn't get past certain things. You know, a lot of this has to do with my own like mental well-being and makeup. You know, I know that has something to do with it. But this last time, it really was just like levels of exhaustion that I've never had in my life. I don't think I've ever worked this hard in my life. Just as an example, in the end of December, I worked 189 hours in 2 weeks, and like that was literally 7 days a week, like multiple hours per day. And I work in group homes, like I mentioned to Sean Connors, and you actually sleep there at the site when and off the clock. So for 8 hours, additional to these hours, I was sleeping there. So like I was never leaving work, or I would leave one location, drive to another location, sleep for 8 hours, then wake up and punch in. Like it was crazy because of how many people were using personal time off at the end of December. I noticed too that during this period of time, again, my wife stopped working and I had to kind of pick up the slack, but she's also taking care of my kids now, which I'm not. So I don't have as much kid stress or dad stress as like I used to. That was kind of tough for me too. So with my projects that I've been working on, I've noticed that I push them on the back burner a lot more often now. I haven't worked on my adventure or mini setting in a while. I think about working on my RPG system, and like I'll get like right up to the edge of that, and then I just don't do it. So yeah, those are the challenges. I don't know if I've overcome them. I feel like getting back into vlogging is a way for me to get back into these other things. It's almost as if like this is bringing me back. This is giving me energy. It's awesome to see people jumping back in and filming videos. Yeah, I gained lots of XP in December. Looks like 4 Against Darkness from O'Neill. Yeah, I think that must be a solo game. I've thought about doing solitaire games too, just because of my schedule's so crazy. I can't be in normal groups, you know. So yeah, 2018 was a bear. It just kicked the crap out of me. But in some ways, I'm happier. It's really hard to explain. Me working like that, okay, you know, I don't know, like beat my chest like an ape or something. That traditional male, like provide for the family thing is there, and I'm kind of proud of that. But at the same time, I just don't have time to watch videos, and because I don't have time to watch videos, it seems that kind of trickled into the rest of my enjoyment or lack thereof of the hobby. So yeah, have I overcome that? I don't think I have. I just had to be honest with myself, and maybe that's what you need to do. Just sometimes it's okay to just not be in the hobby, not be overly involved in the hobby. But I was able to kind of, I don't know, being away, you miss it. And I missed you guys. I missed hanging out with you. I missed watching your videos, leaving comments. I missed the back and forth interaction. So that eventually got enough steam behind it where I was, again, I'm very all or nothing. Like me inviting everybody under the sun into the group. Me trying to poke and prod people and nudge them in different, you know, Facebook groups. I don't know. I have that fire again, and I want to share it. I have that spark, and I want to light you guys all on fire, you know? So, and it's good to see that you guys are actually on fire. It's like Mathew's replying. Yeah, it's cool to make new friends, Brian. I agree. Like, there's been some people that I've added. Actually, I think it was after Gen Con on Facebook. I had this, like, whim where I just started adding people. Like, at that time, everybody had their Gen Con, like, avatars. Like, you may know this person. I was like, click, 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 and I added like 200 people or something. It was ridiculous. People probably thought I was like some sort of spammer, you know. I'm sure Facebook didn't like it very much. But I noticed that there was a lot of RPG people that I found who were also introduced or into like board games and stuff. So yeah. Okay, that's another element too. I got more involved in board games when I stepped away from the RPG hobby, and mainly due because of my son. My son's like my gaming group these days. He provides me with he's so excited and energetic, and anything that I show him, you know, like Car Wars or Firefly the board game, or I ran some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in space games for him, and I had the Firefly map out, you know, I mixed some Star Wars elements into it. Like, anything I provide him is like so exciting to him because it's like brand new, and that gives me energy. That's really exciting to see. I'm like proud of him as a dad, and it's just fun to play with him, especially since he's so creative. I know I'm biased, but Sophie, I'm all or nothing. I don't know. I'm a very chaotic person. It's weird. I am structure and like hierarchy and all that kind of stuff. I don't do very well with that. I don't know why. And I just kind of go with my flow. Like, when my fire is, it's basically like a grill, and I'm roasting some meat on it, you know. Like, I turn that sucker like all the way up, and when I'm into it, and then I run out of gas. That's just how I am. I've tried to be more like stable about it, or, you know, just burn a little bit of gas over the time. But like, I used to be a distance runner, and with creative efforts, I'm more of a sprinter. I just go full bore until I'm puking on the side of the track. That's just how I am. Like, I just can't run anymore. So I've tried to fight it, and now I guess I just kind of have accepted that about myself. And wherever my creative muse takes me, I listen to her flapping bat wings, or, you know, beautiful sprite wings or whatever. Oh, and barbecue, Tim, I do actually like to grill in the wintertime, so kind of a strange, odd bird with that too. But alright, guys, I just wanted to say a little quick thing, and thanks for chatting with me, and I'll talk to you guys later.